Assalamu alaikum and a very good day everyone. For week 7, we are going to look at the use of language in critical thinking. And this is the first part of this lecture video. Now let us examine this sentence. My mom just went to the bank. Imagine that you ask this question to a person and the person answers, my mom just went to the bank. You may wonder, what do you mean by to the bank? Do you mean she went to the financial institution, or because the house is located near to a river, perhaps she went to the riverbank? So basically this is what we are going to learn in this chapter, and that is to look at the use of language and how a language can be the subject of a good critical argument. When it comes to precision, which is finding the right word, failure to be precise in communicating can also result in confusion and misunderstanding. Now, what makes perfectly good sense to one person might be confusing to someone else. Because the house is near to the river, therefore it is confusing to you whether the mother went to the bank of the financial institution or to the river bank. But to others who perhaps on in his life or her life may not experience seeing river all the time, when someone says, my mom went to the bank, automatically in your mind, you are referring to the financial institution. To communicate clearly, to defend our claims without confusing or misleading anyone, and to assess the truth of premises presented to us in the arguments of others, we must insist that language in the context of argumentation must be clear and precise. Now, thinking critically and arguing effectively often depend on recognizing imprecise language, that is, language that is vague, overgeneral, and ambiguous. Now, what is vagueness? Vagueness means a word or perhaps a group of words is vague when its meaning is fuzzy and inexact. In a way of saying, when the meaning is not clear, therefore the word is vague. Now let us look at this given example. Those who live poorly are entitled for this help. Now, live poorly. What do you mean by live poorly? I can have a person who is rich in finance but live poorly, as in inorganized. Does that entitle for this help as well? So because of this vague language that makes you in haze, that you are not sure what is meant by the word live or the phrase live poorly, it makes the whole context of this sentence or perhaps argument vague. Now, vague or the vagueness of a word can be in three categories: those things to which the word clearly does not apply, or perhaps those things to which the word clearly applies, or those things to which it may or may not apply. So generally speaking, however, vagueness should be avoided because it frustrates clear thinking and communication. Next is overgenerality. Now, vagueness is often confused with overgenerality, but there is, however, an important distinction between these two. Now, words are vague if they are fuzzy or inexact boundaries and hence give rise to unclear borderline cases. Now, for overgeneral, on the other hand, the information they provide is too broad or unspecific in a given context. Now, let us look at some of the examples. A conversation between teacher and Johnny. Teacher: Johnny, what is 7 plus 5? Johnny answers, more than 2. Now we all know 7 plus 5 is 12. However, Johnny answered more than 2. It is actually correct. The answer is correct. However, the answer is over general because more than 2 can be 3, can be 4, can be 5, up to infinity. So which is the answer? So you can also examine the following examples. Now bear in mind, a word can be both vague and over general. The last part of precision is we look at ambiguity. Now ambiguity refers to a doubtful sense of word or phrase. So many words have more than one meaning. Earlier just now, we looked at the word bank and how it is meant by two different meanings. Now, how is ambiguity different than vague word? Now, a vague word is imprecise because it has blurry boundaries and unclear borderline. Ambiguous, on the other hand, is imprecise because it is unclear which of two or more distinct meanings. You are very clear with the meanings, but you are not sure which one that is meant in the context of that sentence. Now, I give you an example. The word star, for example, can mean, among other things, a Hollywood celebrity or a twinkling celestial object. Now, vague can also happen in two parts. Ambiguous can lead to two parts, verbal dispute and factual dispute. Now, verbal dispute means people appear to disagree on issue, but in actuality have simply not resolved the ambiguity of a key term. For example, if let's say someone is arguing whether your reference to bank, private, financial institution, or the river bank. So having that argument is called as verbal dispute. Factual dispute, on the other hand, because you disagree not over the meanings but the relevant facts. I give you an example. In an argument, you accuse that that person actually did not go to the library with a bus, by bus, sorry. And then you disagree with that fact by saying that I saw that person with my own eyes that he went to the library by bus. So having whether or not that person went to the library by bus or not by bus is basically you are arguing on facts. And this kind of dispute is called factual dispute. Now, another example that you can observe and ponder at, dog for sale, eats anything and is especially fond of children. This sentence is very ambiguous because we are not sure when someone says eats anything and is especially fond of children, are we saying that the dog it also eats those children? Or are we saying that the dog eats anything? That means it's a it's a it is an easy dog, okay, for you to have because it is not that fussy. It eats everything that you give to it. And another trait, it also likes children. So because of this ambiguity, it leads to verbal dispute in an argument. Now, ambiguities that result from faulty grammar or word order are called syntactical ambiguities.